everyone, my name is Rebecca and I'm from the Lincoln Park branch. Today for Make It Monday, I will be showing you how to make a turkey leaf lantern. And when you're all done, you can use it to decorate your Thanksgiving table. This is what you'll need to make a lantern. First, I like to put something on the table in case I make a mess, so I put a tablecloth down. Then you'll need a glass jar. Here's a little one. I used a medium-sized one. This was a salsa jar before. I took off the wrapper, I washed it out, and now it's all empty on the outside so that I could decorate it. The next thing you'll need is some glue medium. And what we do is we combine water and glue. And I'll show you in a little bit how much to do for each of those. The next thing you'll need is a wide brush. This is a paintbrush. It has a wide bristle. You could also use a sponge brush or a foam brush. And next you'll need some leaves. This is the leaf I'm going to use today. It's a maple leaf and it's yellow. I'm going to make sure to pinch off the bottom part so it's as smooth as possible. And this is a very fresh leaf. That means that it just came off a tree or it just landed on the ground. You don't want leaves that are too wrinkly or too dry because then they won't glue very well to your jar. There's some other ones too. For the body of the turkey, I cut out a larger circle for the body and a smaller circle for the head. It's kind of hard to see, but this is a little orange wattle. The wattle is the part that hangs off the turkey, and a little yellow beak. And these are just out of paper. And the last thing that I used were googly eyes. And if you don't have googly eyes at your house, you can use regular paper and cut out a white circle and a black circle. And that'll look just fine also. Now I decorated mine with a leaf turkey, but you could also just do a leaf, or you could do stars, polka dots, you could do anything. But the thing that makes it look the coolest is the tissue paper. Sometimes when you get a present or a package in the mail, you get a big piece of tissue paper like this. I like to use the white paper because it shows through. And then you cut it into little squares like this. So now we have everything we need to make our leaf turkey lantern. Let's make one together. All right, so the first thing we want to do is measure out our glue medium. We are going to do a ratio of 3 to 1. I'm going to use tablespoons because we don't need very much. We don't need cups of glue. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of water. I'm using a little yogurt bucket to have my glue in. You can use anything you want. And then we'll do 3 tablespoons of white glue. And I took the lid off. That's a little bit easier. If you want help from an adult, please ask. I'm sure they would love to help you so you don't make a big mess. I'll pour it in. And if you do make a mess, I have a little paper towel here to help me. And you can too. Once we put the glue and the water in together, we need to stir it really well. So take your wide paintbrush and stir until it becomes one little thing and not 2 separate things. We're gonna combine the water and the glue. All right, I think that's good. Now here's my jar. I'm using the taller one because my leaves are taller, but you can use the shorter one if you want also. And this is the leaf I'm going to use. I pinched off the stem so it's as flat as possible. You'll start by just putting a layer of glue in one spot. You don't want to fill the whole thing with glue yet, because then it's hard to hold it and it might dry before you are ready for your next piece. So I just have that much glue. I'll put my leaf down. Now sometimes it doesn't want to stay, so you can hold it down with your fingers for a couple seconds. Maybe you can sing the happy birthday song, just like when you wash your hands, for 20 seconds. Or another song that you have in your head. And when that's kind of pressed down, we'll take some more glue and paint it on top. We want to be really careful to not bend the leaf or break the leaf, and to have an even coat all around it. And it's okay if there's little bumps. We're going to put the tissue paper on top, so that'll help. All right, now this section that we've painted with glue, we are going to put on our tissue paper. You can just kind of put it in a grid, all the ones along the bottom first, and then the next row. And you see that it's covering the leaf. But because it's thin tissue paper, the leaf is going to show through. And they all stick because there's already glue there. But if you ever need some more glue, just put a little bit on. And it's okay if some of these overlap a little bit. They're very thin, so you won't notice it very much. Now we need to cover this with glue. We have to be really careful not to bend them. We lightly paint on top. Like that. And when it dries, the leaf will show through a lot more than it is right now. Now, like I said before, you could just do a leaf. You don't have to add the turkey. If you were just doing a leaf, this is where you'd end, and you would maybe do another leaf on the other side and some more tissue paper. But I want to add my turkey. So I'm going to take my first circle, put it down, and I'm going to have to hold it again, maybe a count of 20 seconds. And then I'll glue on top again. And the brush, you can kind of push it down so it stays in place. And then my head, same thing, I'm gonna hold it in place and then paint it with the glue on top. Okay, now we need the wattle and the beak. And I'm gonna start with the wattle so it sits a little bit underneath. Oops. And then I'm gonna take my beak. And this is already kind of gluey, so don't need too much glue, but just a little bit to cover it up. And the last thing I'll do are the googly eyes. You don't want to use too much glue for the googly eyes because they'll kind of slide around. You don't want that. Just a little dab. And I bet you're looking at this upside down, aren't you? So let me turn it around. And there it is, and it will dry. Now, I didn't take the time right now to do all around. If you look at my finished one, with my little fake candle inside, I went all the way around, and I did 2 turkeys even. So you can do that as well. Remember, you can use any kind of leaf. If it's really soft and fresh off the tree or fresh off the ground, you could even do a green leaf if you want. All right, now it's your turn. Have fun. All right, so this can take a bit of time to dry, so we can let it sit and come back later. When it's all done, it looks like this. And you see, I put a candle inside. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of flickering. This is not a real candle. It's a battery candle, which is perfect for kids. But if you use a real candle, remember to have an adult help you with matches or a lighter, okay? So this is gonna sit to the side. I wanna talk a little bit about leaves with you guys, since we used a leaf for our lantern. Have you ever wondered why leaves fall off trees in fall? Well, every fall, leaves turn from green, like this, to yellow, and orange, and red. Couldn't find any orange ones today. It's really nice during pandemic, right, that we can go outside and see all these beautiful colors if we take a walk in our neighborhood or even just look outside our window at our house. There are 3 words that I'm going to help you guys learn, and they're big scientific words, but they'll help us understand about leaves and the fall. The first one is deciduous. It's a big word, deciduous. Deciduous means that it's a tree that the leaves fall off. There's our tree, maybe in spring or summer. By the time it gets to fall, all the leaves fall off. You'll have to look up and see another kind of tree that doesn't have its leaves fall off. See if you can look it up online or in a book and find out what it's called. The second word we're going to learn today is called photosynthesis. I divided it into 2 parts because it has 2 parts, photo and synthesis. Photosynthesis is the process that trees and other plants use to make their food. They take energy from the sun and water from the ground and carbon dioxide from the air and make the food that they need to grow big and strong. And this process is possible because of a chemical that is in leaves, and it is called chlorophyll. Here's our third word, chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll has another job, and it makes all leaves green. As long as the leaves are able to soak up sunlight, they can make food to grow big and strong. But as soon as the seasons begin to change, it begins to get colder, and the sunlight is less in the day, it gets darker earlier, there's not enough energy for the leaves to make food. So instead, the leaves start eating the food that they already have stored inside. To do this, the cells open up really wide. Kind of think about a mouth, really wide. You're hungry, I want to get all the food I can. So you open your mouth wide, the cells in the leaves open up as wide as possible. And when they do that, some other colors show through the holes in the cells. The yellow pops through. That means it's always been there. The yellow and the orange and the red were there all summer long, The chlorophyll was just covering it up. And when the leaves have gotten all the food they can, then they turn brown, and then they kind of crumple up and get dry and fall to the ground. So those are the things, 3 words we learned to help us know about why leaves turn colors in the fall. You can go outside and see what you can find. For this activity, remember, you need to go get a fresh leaf, see what you can see. I found this red, this is a Japanese maple. I love these. They kind of look like turkey leaves. There's a lot of yellow maples in Chicago. Chicago has a lot of maple trees. There's also a lot of these that I don't know if we can use them for our lantern, but they're called locust trees, and they do these little yellow leaves. There's a lot of great ones out there. Take a look, see what you can find. And when you come back inside, you can read a book about leaves. Here's an example of one, and here's an example of one. And if you want to learn more about turkeys, you can learn more about turkeys as well. If you don't have books at your house, you can always come to the library. We have books here for you to check out, and you can do ebooks and audiobooks online at Chicago Public Library's website and the app. So I encourage you guys to do that. Don't stop learning. There's a lot of amazing things out there. And don't forget to come back to Facebook later for more videos for Make It Monday and other videos. And check at your library about virtual programming like book clubs and story times and performers, all sorts of things that you can do online. Thank you for coming to Make It Monday. I'm so glad you joined me, and we'll see you again next time. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving!